In a world obsessed with looks, likes, and luxury, everyone's trying to impress. We see it every day, people showing off what they wear, what they own, and how perfect their lives seem. But here's the truth. Real attraction isn't about what's seen on the outside, it's about what's felt on the inside. If you've ever asked yourself, how do I impress a girl? You might think the answer is charm, style, or smooth words, but the truth is much deeper. This isn't a story about fake confidence or pickup lines. It's a story about becoming someone who doesn't need to impress, because who they are already speaks volumes. A story about a young man who learned that the real way to win someone's heart is by first winning yourself, because in the end, the most attractive thing about a person is not what they wear. It's how they carry their character, how they commit to their growth, and how they walk with quiet, unshakable confidence, built not in front of the world, but in silence, discipline, and self-respect. Let's dive into this powerful journey, not just about how to impress a girl, but how to become the kind of person who no longer needs to. Don't try to impress others by being someone you're not. Authenticity always stands out. In today's world, we are constantly under pressure to appear a certain way, to be more attractive, more successful, more charming. Social media shows us perfect images, flawless people, and ideal lives. And in this race for perfection, we often lose sight of the most powerful trait we have, our authenticity. You see, people can sense when you're faking. Whether it's pretending to be richer, funnier, or more confident than you actually are, that kind of impression may last a few minutes, maybe a few days, but it never builds real connection. Being genuine means showing up as you are, with your flaws, your strengths, your awkwardness, and your truth. And guess what? That takes far more courage than trying to be perfect. Perfection is about hiding. Genuineness is about revealing. When you're genuine, you listen with your heart. You speak with honesty. You admit when you're wrong. You stay grounded, even when others are pretending to be more. And the beautiful thing is, authenticity attracts. The right people are drawn to realness because it's rare. In a world full of filters and masks, someone who is comfortable being themselves shines brighter than any polished image. So if you're trying to impress someone, a girl, a friend, an audience, don't try to be flawless. Be real. Be you, because when you stop trying to impress others by being perfect and instead embrace your true self, you give others permission to do the same. And that is how deep, meaningful connections are built, not through perfection, but through truth. Real attraction begins when you invest in your growth, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. In the journey of life, especially when it comes to relationships, many people focus outward. They ask questions like, how can I impress them? What do they want in a partner? What should I wear or say to be liked? But here's the truth, and the most powerful and lasting attraction doesn't begin with trying to win someone else's heart. It begins when you start building your own. Self-improvement is not about fixing what's wrong with you.
It's about elevating what's already within you. It's a quiet commitment to becoming stronger, wiser, more grounded, not for others, but for yourself, mentally. When you invest in your mind by reading, learning, and staying curious,
you become someone who has depth. You can hold meaningful conversations, you have opinions, you understand the world. You develop clarity, purpose, and direction, and that makes you magnetic. Because no one is drawn to a confused, scattered soul, but a person with vision, that's attractive. Emotionally, emotional maturity is rare and powerful. It's the ability to control your reactions, to communicate with calmness, and to empathize with others. It means you don't play mind games, you don't break under pressure, and you don't need constant validation to feel worthy. You become safe, stable, and solid. And that, more than anything, is what makes others trust and respect you. Spiritually. Spiritual growth isn't always about religion. It's about inner peace. It's about understanding who you are when the noise stops. When you meditate, reflect, pray, or simply spend time in silence, You begin to align your life with meaning, not just material success. And that inner light, that stillness, that awareness, it radiates from you. It makes you calm in chaos, humble in success, and grateful in pain. When you commit to growing in these areas, not to chase someone, but to honor yourself, something magical happens. People notice. You carry yourself differently. You don't beg for attention. You command respect. You don't fear rejection because you know your worth. You don't compete with others because you're too focused on your own lane. Real attraction is not in your looks, clothes, or status. It's in your energy. It's in your discipline, your mindset, your presence. So don't focus on trying to get someone to like you. Focus on becoming someone you're proud to be. And when you do that, the right people will be drawn to you, not because you tried, but because you grew. Respect, kindness, and honesty are far more impressive than showing off material things. In a world where people chase attention with luxury, filtered images, and superficial charm, it's easy to believe that impressing someone means having the most. The best car, the designer clothes, the fancy lifestyle. But let's ask a deeper question. What lasts longer, what you wear or who you are? The truth is, material things may attract the eye, but character captures the heart and keeps it. Anyone can buy things, but not everyone builds values. True respect isn't earned through loud words or expensive possessions. It's earned through quiet integrity. When you walk into a room, your energy speaks before your mouth does. When someone talks about you behind your back, your reputation stands as your defense. That's what character is. And when it comes to relationships, especially with someone truly worth having, they are not looking for surface-level status. They are searching for someone who listens when others are talking, someone who stands for what's right even when it's hard, someone who treats the waiter with the same respect as the CEO, someone whose words match their actions. That's real strength. That's real power. Kindness is strength in disguise. Kindness doesn't mean weakness. It means you've mastered your emotions enough to respond with grace. People remember how you make them feel more than what you show them. A man who holds the door, who notices when someone is down, who speaks gently even when angry. That man impresses without trying. Honesty is rare and beautiful. In Baichi Winter, a world full of fake smiles and mixed signals, being real and honest is refreshing. If you say what you mean and mean what you say, people trust you. And trust is the foundation of any real relationship, romantic, personal, or professional. You don't need to prove anything to anyone when your character is clean, your intentions are pure, and your actions are consistent. You don't need to post about what you bought when people already know who you are. You don't need loud words when your quiet presence says enough. So remember, looks fade. Money can come and go. Status is temporary, but your character, that's your legacy. So if you truly want to impress a girl, or anyone for that matter, don't just work on what they can see. Work on what they can feel when they're around. Your respect, your loyalty, your kindness, because at the end of the day, character speaks louder than words, and it echoes long after you've left the room. True confidence isn't loud, it's quiet, steady, and unshakable. It's built over time through discipline and belief in yourself. In a world full of noise, people shouting for attention, showing off their lives, pretending to be more than they are, it's easy to confuse ego with confidence, but make no mistake. Ego is loud. Ego demands to be seen. Ego needs applause. But true confidence doesn't need to shout. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't rely on attention. It lives quietly in your soul, like a deep river, calm on the surface, yet powerful underneath. Confidence is not about being fearless. It's about trusting yourself even when you're afraid. Real confidence says, I don't have all the answers, but I trust myself to figure them out. I may not be perfect, but I know my worth. I don't need to be better than others. I just need to be better than I was yesterday. But how do you build this kind of confidence? It's not something you're born with. It's not gifted to the lucky. It's earned through discipline, self-respect, and consistency. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build it. Every time you show up when it's hard, you build it. Every time you push through failure instead of giving up, you build it. Confidence doesn't grow in comfort. It grows in the moments when you choose to rise again and again, despite the doubt. True confidence doesn't compare. A confident person doesn't look around wondering, am I better than them? They ask, am I living in alignment with who I really am? Because when you know your own path, you stop looking at others' lanes. You stop competing. You stop pretending. You stop apologizing for being yourself. That's power. Confidence is quiet, but undeniable. You can feel it in the way someone enters a room, not by trying to be the center of attention, but by standing tall in their energy, grounded and calm. It's in the person who doesn't need to speak over others to be heard. It's in the one who can admit they're wrong without losing face. It's in the one who walks away from drama, not because they're weak, but because they know their peace is worth more. So if you're trying to impress someone, or even just find your own voice in the world, remember this: confidence is not found outside you. It is created within you. It's the result of hundreds of small wins, invisible victories that no one sees, but you feel them. And when you carry that quiet, solid confidence in your walk, in your words, in your way of being, people don't just notice it. They respect it. They trust it. They're drawn to it. Because true confidence doesn't seek to dominate. It inspires. In the end, impressing someone, especially someone truly worth your time, has nothing to do with the surface and everything to do with the substance. You don't need flashy clothes, fancy cars, or the smoothest lines. You need character that speaks louder than your words. You need self-improvement that reflects your discipline and dedication. You need confidence that radiates from within, not from ego. And above all, you need to be genuine, because authenticity never goes out of style. The world is full of people trying to be noticed, but very few try to be real, to grow, to stand silently strong, and to lead with integrity. Be that person. Because when you focus on becoming the kind of person who respects themselves, grows consistently, treats others with kindness, and walks confidently in their truth, you don't just impress others, you inspire them. And when the right girl or the right people come into your life, they won't be drawn to what you showed them. They'll be drawn to who you truly are. So, stop chasing attention. Start chasing growth. Because in the end, the greatest impression you can ever make is becoming the best version of you.